What's up? It's Dustin Lynch, and you're watching Kurt's Country on NewsNation.
We love Dustin Lynch!
We love NewsNation!
Here we are in Southern California at the 150th anniversary of the Ventura County Fair, and in just a few hours, Dustin Lynch is going to take this stage. Kurt's Country on NewsNation starts right now.
This one's for the small town boys and girls. This is our song, baby.
Hey, how's it going?
Hi, good. How about you?
I'm going to buy a funnel cake. Powdered sugar. Classic, right? Can't go wrong. Well, it's a heart-shaped funnel cake. 1/4 for me, and the rest I'll save for Dustin Lynch. 3, 2, 1. Here we are, Ventura Beach, California. First of all, you can't ask for a better temperature and climate to do a show at. Like, there's this massive heat wave going on right now, like across the entire country, and this is as beautiful as it gets, man.
Las Vegas yesterday for us was 110.
Oh, man.
And then here we are, what, 72?
Yeah.
Sunny, bluebird skies.
It's like
this
right
is
on
an
the beach.
incredible setting. I see the crowd pouring in right now. It's going to be an awesome
I mean,
night.
there's nothing more American, I feel like, than a county country fair like we got going right now.
There's nothing. I'll tell you, we didn't have a county fair this cool back in Tennessee where I grew up. Ventura's got it dialed in.
So you grew up in Tullahoma?
Tullahoma, Tennessee, yes, sir.
How big is that town?
We were the big city, man. We had Applebee's and a movie theater.
Okay.
Yeah. Now we're like on the up and up. Now we've got Chick-fil-A and Starbucks. About 14,000, maybe between 14 and 20,000 is kind of where we live. Yeah.
You know, for those who may not be as familiar with Dustin, you know, the very first like big song that you had was one that you actually wrote yourself, Cowboys and Angels, about it's a true story, I believe.
Yeah.
About your grandparents, right?
That's right, yeah. Grandparents are high school sweethearts. And it was written as a kind of a gift. You know, it's like, that could be cool to write my grandparents a song, you know, about their love story. And that was kind of my hope, was just they would like it. And they did. And then it went on to, it was kind of the first song as a songwriter where I was like, this feels special and different. I just had a deep down feeling like, I feel like this is a kind of next level songwriting for me at the time. And the good Lord above had bigger plans for it. You know, it became my first single. And back in 2012, January 2012, and kicked off this crazy ride for us.
Well, here you are, something like 9 number ones later.
Yeah.
Know, still going strong.
Clicking them off.
You know, I mean, that's interesting. Like when you have a song that's special, that you know is going to, you know, be impactful. Like, did you know, like with Small Town Boy, like that was going to be a defining song?
Another interesting song. It felt really cool. But the fans always let you know, and that same with like what's happening with Chevrolet this year in 2024. With Small Town Boy, all of a sudden it was like, boom! It was like the first, before viral was a thing. We put a little one-take YouTube thing I shot at my buddy's farm out, and overnight was like, oh wow, this is about to be different. And I knew I loved the song. It was one of those songs that I heard. Red Akins is a good buddy of mine. Ben Hayslip, Dallas Davidson. One of their people had sent me a song. I didn't open the email for like 2 weeks.
Oh, really?
And I remember clicking on the link and listening and going, "Oh crap! I hope to God someone else hasn't heard this yet."
You think TR ever goes like, "Dad, like, come on, like that Small Town Boy could? What about your own son?"
I know, right? It could have been. I mean, that would have been a game changer for anybody. I still can't believe I got my hands and my ears on it first. But yeah, a song that really changed the game for us, took us to the next level.
Has there ever been a song that you heard but you passed on that turned out to be like?
Oh yeah. There's been a couple, which is a great feeling, you know, to know like I really like that. But certain things, and I think later in careers, you know, I can't imagine being Kenny Chesney. You know, like right now, still a viable country artist on the radio that's been doing it since I've been alive, and how do you not say the same thing twice? Like I think, as a young artist, you can say whatever, and then, you know, now we're paying attention to like, do I really want to say moon in a song again? I've said moon, you know, I get on stage like, I've said moon like 3 times tonight. This is kind of weird, I'm singing about, you know. But I think as career goes, you have to evolve and find new stuff to talk about. And yeah, so I don't know, timing's everything with songs. I think there's a lot to play with music.
Yeah.
You know, there's something, I think a greater power that is involved with music, and so I think songs find the right homes. And I think too, you know, it's headspace. It's where am I at personally in life. Obviously, when I make music, it's about stuff I've gone through, or maybe someone close to me has been through. And so sometimes a song doesn't strike you the way it would strike one of my buddies, you know?
Well, it seems like too, listening to your most recent album, Kill the Cowboy, it does seem very autobiographical. Just the ebbs and flows of your life. And it certainly seems a lot more, I think, vulnerable than some of the past albums that we've had from you. So, how much of your real life did you tap into putting that record together?
Yeah, I think I've kind of identified a few areas between the farm, the boat, my house, where I like to listen to music. And a lot of when I'm home, I like to be kind of secluded and alone. It's just the exact opposite of what happens out here on the road, where I'm around so much energy and so many people. So I find myself doing a lot of stuff alone.
Yeah.
And listening to music. And this past chapter of music was really self-reflection of, damn, I've built everything I've ever dreamed of and more. But in the personal relationship side of things, like, where do I need to go? Am I cool where I'm at? And this album, Kill the Cowboy, was kind of digging deep on, like, all of my friends have started families or going through divorces.
Round two.
Yeah. 2023 was a tough year for my boys. So just reflecting on, okay, is it weird to be single, this far along in life, and still loving the freedom of adventure and just saying yes to whatever and going and doing fun stuff. And I think through promoting this album and talking about the album, I got my answer. And the answer is, yeah, let's ride the wave that we're given. I struggle a lot, obviously, wanting to be the best version of myself. And this album kind of helped me figure out it's kind of cool where I'm at right now. And so I'm just embracing that.
Isn't it weird? Because, like, you are, again, when you're not superstar Dustin Lynch, when you go off stage, you are more of a private person.
Yeah.
So is it weird to, like, read rumors about yourself? Like, I think I read something where there was some summer house on Bravo's a TV show, like, that you were linked to some person. Like, it's like, do you have that, like, that's news to me? Like,
right.
where does this stuff come from?
It is funny how those start. But it's all great. Like, I think in our line of work, if people are talking about us, that's great. It's great to be top of mind, and maybe they'll think about us, and throw us on the playlist the next time they're on the boat or something. But yeah, it is funny to be in this light where people are interested in every facet. I think when Cowboys and Angels came out, I think all we had was Twitter and Facebook. Yeah. And now it's like we're on camera every single day with TikTok and Instagram, and Riley's right over here with this camera on right now behind the scenes. Like, everything I do is on camera now. And so our fan base wants to know everything about every facet of my life, which is great. And I think even though I do keep things private and I don't really have a huge social circle when I'm off the road, I've still let my fans come along for the ride, and I think they have a really good idea about what I like and what my interests are off the stage.
Well, one of the standout tracks on that album is you alluded to this earlier, the song you have with our man Jelly Roll.
Yeah.
Chevrolet. First, what was it like the first time you met Jelly? Jelly's an interesting cat, as we all know. So, what was your first meeting with Jelly?
Well, it would have been, I grew up in Tennessee, so Jelly was like one of our main guys growing up. He was kind of the delinquent, growing up
right.
in Middle Tennessee, and that's how we knew him. I didn't realize until 2020 that my producer Zach produced a lot of his early rap beats.
Yeah.
In high school and in college. Those guys were best buds, and so over 2020 I'm like, man, Jelly Roll's like, you look at his social numbers, and he's just like, his fans, I remember the parking lot I was in when I was on the phone with Zach. It's like his fans are so involved, and like he'll post something and there's thousands of comments.
Yeah. Which is passionate.
Yeah, very passionate fan base. He goes, man, Jelly and I go way back, and we started talking. He's like, I need to catch up with Jelly. Let me give him a call. And that's when Save Me came out.
Right.
And Zach and Jelly started talking about doing country music together. And we were working on an album. Jelly started coming to the studio. We obviously working in the same studio, and Chevrolet came across the desk, and the rest is history. This would have been, on the very start of his country ascension. And I think Zach has a lot to do with him being on Broken Bow, BMG. We're label mates. So that made doing a collaboration a lot easier through 2.5 years of trying to Think About You out on radio, because it was 2 record labels, having to time things out. It's like, okay, what if it's 1 record label? Maybe this would be easier. And Chevrolet was a lot easier. So.
Well, I mean, I also love the music video for it, because it has this storyline of this this kid who's kind of getting bullied.
Yeah.
And we live in when we talk about this, we live in polarizing times.
Sure.
You almost like can't say anything without offending somebody. And,
Right.
and some artists, embrace that and they kind of go their own direction, and others completely shy away from that. But you've used this song and your platform for something I think such a beautiful and positive message.
It is, yeah. It's kind of the underdog, and what a great fun day that was. We got to shoot at Murfreesboro, Tennessee, which is home away from home for us in Nashville and Tullahoma. It's right in the middle. And yeah, just getting to dream up video ideas is something that my team and we love, and we already have the next one figured out. And it's just it's a fun, coming up with song ideas is great. That's a grind, though. It takes hundreds and hundreds of songs to come up with something great. Videos, though, you already know you have a great song. It's one of the special ones, and now it's like, how can we take this to the next level? And maybe, just like you said, maybe help somebody out. I think the Chevrolet video is a lot of kids are gonna see it and go, I relate to that, and it'll get them through something and maybe help them out. And I think with country music, all these fans here tonight, they're here for a reason. Yeah. They want to feel something, and I think the Chevy video, we accomplished that.
So you've collaborated with Jelly. You've done, obviously, Lauren Elena, Mackenzie. Who haven't you collaborated with that you'd like to?
Yeah, man. For me, it's all about the song. We had gosh, let's rip them off. Hunting Land with Riley Green.
Riley Green.
I mean, that's fitting, right?
Chris Lane.
Yeah, To Kill on a Boat, Chris Lane, very fitting. He did a great job on that. So, I don't know. It's all about the song for me, and I do want to do some more collabs. I would say on this next chapter of music, you can expect some. Yeah. I don't have all that figured out yet, but I do love making music with other people. I think this day and age too. I just started collabing with some artists from overseas, which is cool. I don't know where that's going to lead and what kind of music that's going to become, but the world's wide open. Now that streaming's in place, man, our fan base, we get videos from every continent. I mean, it's unbelievable where country music's finally starting. People are hearing it for the first time this year. And so for us as songwriters and producers and everybody's like, who can we collab with from France today?
Well,
we're doing
that's
it.
What we're seeing. Just even with touring, folks are in Norway and Glasgow and Dublin and London and Australia. I mean, it's streaming has completely opened up the door of country music, and we're seeing everybody wants to be a part of this genre. Whether it's Beyonce, Post Malone's everywhere right now. I saw The Rock was in a music video with Chris Jansen. I think it's such an exciting time that I think a lot of us feel, hey, the more the merrier, come on in.
Absolutely. I mean, this is, without a doubt, we've been doing this for a long time. And I think probably since the Garth movement, early 90s, when that cowboy culture kind of came around, it hadn't been like this since then that I can remember, to where the whole world's got us on. Yeah. It's really cool to be a part of it right now. And just make new fans. I think we're seeing our crowds grow, not only in other countries, but in the States. Yep. We're right in the heat of festival season, and it's never been better for us. I think that couple years where we weren't allowed to tour really kind of threw some gas on the fire. We're back up and running full steam ahead now.
What was it like that first time you came back from COVID? I remember, I happened to be with Brad. He played a gig, Panama City Beach, Florida, first show post-COVID. And it was about as excited as I've ever seen him play. Yeah. Because he had been starved from it for 18 months. Yep. Do you remember what was the first show you did after?
Oh, without it. Yeah, ours was crazy. We do a thing called the Pool Situation. Yeah. That originated down in Mexico, has become this crazy monster. We brought back to the States, and our first one in the States was Vegas in 2021. And it was 3 weeks after Vegas had lifted all their rules and regulations, and the town turned back on. And you talk about unbelievable energy. I invited Jordan Davis out, Hardy, Brandy Cyrus was spinning. So it was crazy. Brandy opened up night one at Dre's nightclub. Jordan Davis opened up at Encore Beach Club. We were after him, sold out, like a zombie apocalypse coming out of that place. It was awesome. And then the following night, Hardy shut down Daylight Pool at Mandalay. And yeah, it was unbelievable. I mean, that was when we knew, the Pool Situation's here to stay. Yeah. And we've continued to have it since. We haven't been back to Vegas, but we were just in Lake of the Ozarks a couple weekends ago. And yeah, we've got plans next year already in a few cities, so it's going to continue to be a great thing.
That's awesome. I mean, it's like that this almost the party mode side of you has become
Yeah.
such a big, I think, part of your persona. And it feels like having watched you perform, going back to 2017, I remember when you were on Luke's tour.
Yeah.
You seem so much more comfortable with yourself as a performer, and you take those risks. You have beer pong up there
Yeah.
on the stage, or the helmet on, which
Yeah.
I may have tried on earlier for fun.
Hey, there we go. Did you run into it back here?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll toss out some drinks tonight for
It's
sure.
like that's become that atmosphere has become such a big part of your show and as an entertainer.
It is, yeah. I think just embracing the interaction and how much fun being out with Luke. You mentioned Luke. I think I learned a lot from him in the fact that you don't have to worry about everything. You can be loose and embrace the mistakes and the rough edges. And yeah, touring with him for 2 years, I think I came out a better performer and entertainer, and I have a lot to owe to Luke Bryan because of that. But we love the crowd interaction. I feed off that energy. Every show's unique because the crowd's a new crowd, and people are inspiring. There's always goofballs down here and somebody over here falling in love, and it's great to watch people come together and get to be a part of that. We kind of feed off that energy. Tonight's going to be special. A unique show for us. Going to go on stage, West Coast. It's going to be, the sun's going to be still up in our face, and we'll do our thing out there.
I'm going to throw a couple names at you, and just tell me the first word or two that comes to mind when I say them. So we're going to start. Actually, the first one I was going to say is Luke Bryan.
Yeah. First word that comes to mind?
Yeah.
Pirate.
Okay, pirate. Lainey Wilson.
Force.
Tim McGraw.
Goals.
Yeah. That's a good one. Another person you went on tour with, Brad Paisley.
Goat. Which we got to talk about that. I gifted, some tours, you gift each other gifts.
Yep.
And Brad being a prankster.
Notorious prankster.
Yep. I bought Brad a goat, and I gifted him a baby goat on stage.
I bet he appreciated that.
You go home, you're like, a dog's one thing. Like, you could kind of figure that out. Well, how do you figure a goat out?
He's got the land.
I knew he had the land. So yeah, she ended up going to, we named her Telly, and she ended up going down the street to one of his buddy's farms. He already had goats, so she needed friends.
Okay.
That's where she ended up.
Jelly roll.
Oh my God. Trying to think of a better word than party, but let's go with party.
He is a one-man walking party
For sure.
in so many ways.
Yeah.
God, I love that. John Loba.
Oh man, brother, the first guy that believed in me, and it's cool that we've got to do this for, gosh, what is it now? 15 years?
Yep. I mean, that's how I feel about Loba. Was the first person to give me the time of day in Nashville when I started the Morning Hangover.
Yeah.
And actually, you were one of the very first shows that I actually got to go to. The first time I ever got a tour laminate was when you were doing the Hell of a Night tour. It was the Fillmore in Silver Spring, Maryland.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Which was one of
It
the
was
first
a great
times I
night.
actually spent time with you.
Chris Lane was out on Hell of a Night with us.
Yeah. So
Fun, man.
that was like part of my origin story, and one of the reasons why I've been such a big fan of yours for so long is being able to take that journey from starting this tip sheet that no one had ever heard of in Nashville to now being able to talk to you and do something on national TV. It's pretty awesome. And you're near and dear to my heart. You played my first ever show, Hangover Fest in Vegas.
That's right.
And the night before the ACM Awards.
For sure. Yeah, that was a blast.
One of the things that drives me crazy. You've had massive hits. Small Town Boy. Thinking about you. Two of the most played songs of the years that they came out.
Yep.
And I had this conversation with Justin Morrissey. It's like, what is it where the quote award shows they miss the boat on that? At what point? Because Justin talked about this with me. Like, did you just kind of get to that doesn't matter? Like, I'm just gonna.
Yeah, man. I think it really ate at me for a while. I think I was pretty vocal about it with Small Town Boy, and then it was like, hey, man, if we're not going to get recognized for the biggest song of the year that set records, we're not going to get recognized. So it's like, all right, I'm good with that. It doesn't mean anything. Like, my friends that win awards, it's awesome. I still love going to the award shows. I still love that we have them. I'm not expecting ever to take home any trophies at this point. But my friends that have won, this is what matters, man. Even the guys and girls aren't going home like, oh, there's my trophy sitting on a mantle. Like, this is the stuff. These fans showing up right here, that's the trophy. And we've got a bunch out here tonight. So as long as people keep showing up for music, man, this is the coolest. And I suck at acceptance speeches anyway. So this I'm a lot more fun up on stage when doing this. So this is the trophy to me.
I love it, man. Well,
Yeah.
Dustin, thank you so much for taking some time to talk to me.
Absolutely,
I really appreciate it. And we can't wait to get out there and see you perform, brother.
Let's go party.